So let me get my thing them on the screen and make you see the lineup of me would I go with. See it? So let me get my squad builder up on the screen, make sure you see what I go on. Alright. So the formation I would play is obviously 4-3-3. Modern football. Not necessarily a flat midfield 3, but definitely not a midfield 4. Obviously, dynamic players sharing their roles, sharing positions, so to speak. But me show how me would have set up. See? So let's pre-fill this with just Jamaica. Boom. This is not how I would set up. So bear with me. Obviously, Jamal Wade could not be in goal. It has to be Andrew Blake. Left back, I would go Amari Bell. And I'm going to explain my selection of every single player. Amari Bell. The left centre back would be Ethan Pinnock. The right centre back would be Damian Lowe. Right back. Right back. Important position for us, you know. Very, very important position for us. But I would go Joel Latibodera and I'm going to explain why. Joel Latibodera right back for me if I was picking this team. At central midfield, I would go Isaac Hayden now go playing in the first game because of suspension. So I would go Ian Frey. Ian Frey. In at the midfield. Throw him at the fire. Get the job done. We don't have anybody better than him in the position if Isaac Hayden is not going to play. Don't trust Russell there. Don't trust Casey Palmer there. Don't trust Cara. Don't trust anybody else there. So Ian Frey, why not? It can't be worse than whatever else we have to select. You see me? So Ian Frey would be there for me. I would kind of play a double pivot here. So me would go Ian Frey and then me would go John Russell. As the attacking midfielder, I would go. Alright, this position is a little bit weird for me, but me would go Bobby Reed. Me would go Bobby Reed. On the left, obviously, Cephas. On the right, Kadamatari. Center, me would go Kadamatari. And on the right, I would go Demari Gray. Where am there? Where am there? People, I mean, you can't read? Or Demari Gray not on this? Oh, I mean, you can't read. That's how I would go. I mean, I don't want anybody to tell me, say, yo, Demari Gray not play right wing or whatever. Him do it for Birmingham. Him do it at least 2 or 3 times already since the season start. And hey, I think it will be a breath of fresh air for Demari to play over there. Because when Demari play on the left, I want thing him want to do a cut in. We don't get a good left-footed cross from him because him can't use him left foot. Always one track minded, always trying to do the same thing over and over. So I think playing him on the right side wouldn't be a bad shot. If he's not playing on the right, I would have him as the central attacking midfielder, have Bobby Reed as the right winger and play like that. But because I want the danger in attack, because I want the quick transition, because Demar Gray is much younger, much quicker, much more agile, I would have opted for him on the wing and have Bobby Reed as the central attacking midfielder. People, let me know the 10 I know where they are right now. Make sure you like the video and let me know what you think about my lineup. This is how I would go, and me explain the tactics of why I would have selected a team like this. You see me? Obviously not necessarily conventional. I know the coach won't start Ian Frey from the jump. I think he might go Latibody in the midfield and Russell in the midfield along with either Bobby Reed or Casey Palmer. That's what he's going to go with, but that's not what I would do. I think Latibody is a little bit too stiff in the midfield. He's a little bit afraid of the ball in the midfield. He's not necessarily helping us to progress the ball and transition into the final third, and that is what we need our central defensive midfielder to do. Protect the back line, yes. Latibody is somehow over. I don't want to say overcompensate, but he overdoes it. You get me I say in terms of being a defender. The defender in him is not allowing him to be a good midfielder. You see me? So he does the protection of the back line well, but he doesn't transition the ball. He doesn't take the ball on the half turn and progress it forward. He doesn't try to get combinations going with his left back and left winger or his right back and right winger. He doesn't have combinations with the other midfield players. You see me? So that's why I wouldn't opt for him. Ian Frey now, he has that attack minded. He plays at right back for Inter Miami. Inter Miami plays that attacking football, that possession football, quick transition football. Them do everything all at once. Don't get me wrong. But Ian Frey is much more suited to play the football the way I want him to play the football. But I would also select him because we know what we're getting from Latibodera already. And if it goes wrong, we can always put Latibodera in there. We can always put some Casey Palmer or whatever in there. But Ian Frey, he's the new boy. We're excited to see him. He's playing at a good level. He's playing for one of the best teams in the MLS. Let's just throw him in the fire. Let's see what he can do. Um, Some people would question Cephas if Demarai would walk back into his left winger spot, and I don't think he does for me. Cephas keeps his spot. And anybody, in me, I love you have a debate tonight. Me, I love you have two debates tonight. Damian Lowe debate and the Ronaldo Cephas debate. Those are two debates I always have time for because I've been calling for Cephas. I always want Cephas to be in the team. I believe once he's fit and we're playing in Concacaf, Cephas have to be on the field. In fact, anybody Jamaica is playing at the moment, Cephas has to be on the park. He's 25 years old with speed to burn. We have to have him on the park. But not only that, my whole reason for having Cephas on the park always is because he's one unafraid to take on players. He's always going to take on players. He's always going to be very direct, and I love that from my wingers. But it's not just that. He can be direct and foolish. What Cephas does is he creates so many good opportunities that even though he misses a lot and makes a wrong decision a lot, we're always going to get some good returns from the amount of chances that he creates. He might get on the score sheet and he might get the hockey assist. He might put the cross on the box where a fumble from Brown and somebody will kick it in. Something might happen. But Cephas is going to be in dangerous positions all the time. And Jamaica will earn something from it. You see me? So that is why I always want Cephas at the park. No, remember people, Cephas take the Marigay game. The Marigay hasn't been playing well for Jamaica. Hasn't been doing an awesome job. And so Cephas is showing us exactly what we need from a winger. Now, Demargre on the other hand, he's still we can't put Demargre on the bench. He's too good to have him on the bench. He will create stuff. He's a fast player, he's a tricky player. He has the poise and maturity to affect the game. He's a moments player also. He can create a moment out of nothing. He have a long shot on him. He have a really good right foot. Put him on the right side so him can offer. Get some crosses into the box. Play some balls into the lines. Get the ball into Kadamari. Play a quick transition football. You see me? So that's why I have to put him on the right side instead of a Bobby Reed or a Tyrese Campbell or whatever out there. A Kaim Dixon or a Dujan Richards people. I don't know if you see Oral Tracy video a while ago where him just released. But apparently Dujan Richards is being called to the squad. And if you watch my live 2 lives ago, you know that I selected Dujan Richards to be in the squad. Because I think he's also another. I love them winger they bro. The direct man them will just got them not afraid to take you on. Even if he might get double team, they're going. He's a little bit better with decision making than a Dixon, I think. But he's so direct and tricky and pacey and just hungry for goal that we have to have whisper on our team. But anyways, um, excited for that. Demar Grado, too much quality to have him on the bench. I think this would be the perfect starting lineup. In terms of the backline, Amari Bell give us perfect balance between going forward and defending. I don't think Greg Lee is the greatest in terms of going forward. Don't get me wrong. I think Greg Lee has 2 assists in World Cup qualifying so far. Amari Bell though is a better footballer. Amari Bell goes forward much better, and Amari Bell defends much better. You see me? Some people I think it's a little bit close on the defensive side of the ball, but going forward, I think Amari Bell blows him out of the water. Amari Bell can square the ball much better, can um, link up with players much better, can go forward, step into the midfield much better. You know, so I want Amari Bell there. Ethan Pinnock needs to step up. Ethan Pinnock has been playing some really bad football for the country. Obviously, he didn't play in the September window, was injured. We had Damian Lowe and Richard King. And I don't know, maybe somebody need to explain this to me. Why people keep on a say? I watch a couple YouTube channel now. I'm just hear people say, even in the comment section on the last slide that I did, I see people say Richard King was better than Damian Lowe in the last window. In what world? What world can someone say Richard King is ever better than Damian Lowe? But even in context and on those 2 games where we beat Bermuda 4-0 and then we beat Trinidad 2-0 in National Stadium, how was Richard King better than Damian Lowe? When Richard King literally made 2 mistakes that cost goals, but they were offside. When him run and lunge in at the box and the man just chop him and kick the ball in our goal. When I forget that, Damian Lowe scored in the first game. But you know what? As I say, I always have time for this debate. But yeah, Damian Lowe keeps his spot for me and Ethan Pinnock comes in. These are the 2 best defenders that we have, and they have to start. Now I'm a little bit concerned about Damian Lowe because he hasn't been playing competitive football. Just got his move to Dynamo, Houston Dynamo in the MLS. Hasn't played 90 minutes yet. Not getting a lot of game time at the moment, but him just get him transferred. Damian Lowe is always up for the task. He always makes sure he's in fit form to play for the Reggae Boys. So I'm expecting him. I'm expecting much more of the same. Not expecting him to be out of shape or anything. So Damian Lowe starts for me and Latibo Deer. And when I get to the tactics side of things, I'm gonna bring up I guess I feel and showing what I want the team to do. But in terms of tactics, I think Latibeaudiere would be important for me in this game. Because what we should do is flood the midfield and outnumber them. Because we are not blessed with good ball playing midfielders, what we need to do is outnumber them in the midfield. Because a lot of football games, especially in modern football, the game is won and lost in the midfield. You see me say, if we can obviously when it is supposed to be done, transition to a back three and put Latibody up into the midfield, get John Russell forward, play with a little midfield box. And I'm going to show you exactly what I mean when I go to the tactical part. But that's why I opted for Latibody. I don't think he offers much going forward down the lines in terms of supporting Demar Gray, and that is another reason why I would have started Demar Gray. Because Demar Gray can take on players on his own. He doesn't need much support unless he's getting double teamed. And if so, John Rossi can help in those half spaces. But Joel Latibodier, not offer much going forward. He's defensively solid, and I think he can step into the midfield and offer some cover when we are going forward. If we outnumber them, they can't transition well on us. And they're missing two of their most important midfielders, by the way. I think Curacao have the best midfield in the Caribbean, better than our midfield. And if they were fully fit, Curaçao's midfield would be better than Jamaica's midfield. Stick up in, my people. 19 people in our chat so far. Make sure you like the video. Um, and thing. You see me? So, let's get to that. May I explain anything else? Bailey Kadamati. No, Bailey Kadamati have two Reggae Boys caps so far. One goal. Really should have had like 3 goals to this point. But we can't complain. I think in his first cap, he had so many opportunities and he looked so sharp, but couldn't manage to take the chances. Hit the post a few times so far, draw some good saves out of the goalkeeper, and scored a peach of a goal. I think a really good goal from in the national stadium against Trinidad and Tobago. But definitely should feel like he should have had more than 1 goal so far in his regular boy career. Should have been off to a very, very hot start. But Waffle start him. He's better than Shaman Nichols at the moment. Even though, people, Shaman Nicholson is a great option off the bench, one, but Shaman Nicholson is also Jamaica's leading goal scorer in World Cup qualifiers. Shaman Nicholson have 4 goals so far. Is him, and even with goal, everybody and them goal contributions and whatever. Shaman Nicholson is leading the team in goal contributions in World Cup qualifiers. Put some respect on Shaman Nicholson name. They get me, I say, centre forward extraordinaire. He knows what he's doing. He knows where the back of the net is. And he's slowly working himself into becoming the Shaman Nicholson of old that we know. You see me? So, but at the moment, I have to give Billy Calamari the nod. I think he's much more dynamic than Shaman Nicholson. I think he can find much more space in the box than Shaman Nicholson. I think he can create his own goal better than Shaman Nicholson can. And I think he's much faster than Shaman Nicholson is. So we can play those channels. We can get the ball over the top. We can play it through the lines into him. The older play is not as great as I want it to be. But that's not how I would want Jamaica to play. So I'm not going to complain about him older play. You see me? Hit the channels, hit the ball over the top, play those two balls, get combination with the wingers, get into the box, get goals going. You get me? So, Bailey Kadamatu is the perfect player in that system. And speaking about system, let's transition to the tactical part